Hello everyone, semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. Today I'm going to go over, because I had a request from somebody in my comments that requested I go over what I ate the first 2 weeks of my carnivore diet, because they are getting ready to start, and I figured rather than answering them in the comment, I'd just make a little quick video about it because, well, I just got done eating. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Normally I'm outside walking around and I talk about it. That's what I normally do. It was way too windy today and it was cold. I did get all my steps in. What does my watch say right now? Yeah, I'm actually really close to 16,000. I have 15,603, so by the time I put everything away from dinner, I'm going to be well over 16,000 steps. I might even do a couple quick laps and get to 17 or 18,000 steps today, but it was really cold here today. It was bright, sunny, and nice out, but it was 42 when I got up and started walking at 9 o'clock, so I started off in my blue coat, and I was just going to keep just walk a few laps till I got tired and take a break, but I felt really good today. After about 6 laps, I swapped out the blue coat for the black one and kept right on going. I got to about 12,000 steps before my legs even started to get tired. Then I sat down, took a break, and went out and knocked out the rest of them. I was done. I was at the 15,000 step mark by 11 o'clock. It went really quick and easy today. I don't expect it to be that quick and easy every day, but today it was. But yeah, I just got done with an amazingly good dinner. Because I told you in my grocery haul video yesterday that I bought some bacon and eggs. I cooked up a half a package of bacon. And I got to looking at that, and I wanted to stretch the eggs into 4 meals. So I was only going to cook 6 of them, and I looked at it all and thought that may not be quite enough food. So I ran out to the truck and grabbed a can of Spam. I cooked the bacon first, and then fried the Spam in the bacon grease. Amazing. And then I took the Spam out of the bacon grease and put the eggs in the bacon grease and fried those up. Also amazing. I am full. I could have probably stopped a couple of bites earlier, but I had like 2 slices of Spam and 2 slices of bacon left, and I just didn't see the point in throwing those in my refrigerator, because the whole point of having bacon and eggs today was to clear up a little bit of space in the fridge so that the air would circulate better. And I can see that the temperature in my refrigerator has already dropped back down to normal. It was starting to climb up just a little bit because it was so full, but now it's, in just the short amount of time, it has dropped back down to nothing. So, not nothing, but the regular temperature. So, that's a success, and I will let you know how I feel tomorrow, because that's the first time I've had, anything other than boiled eggs in months. First time I've had bacon in months, except for that one piece that I had about a week and a half ago while Miss Jessica was in here cooking for the teens. Give me just a second there. But yeah, so on with today's little video. When I first started this way of eating, I did not start right off with 1 meal a day. I started off eating 3 meals a day. I got up in the morning and I had basically what I just had here without the Spam and not nearly as much. I would take 2 strips of bacon, cut them in half, so there was like 4 half strips of bacon, and then I would fry 3 eggs in that bacon grease. And that's what I had for breakfast. And then at lunch, I would have a couple of hamburger patties. And then at dinner, I would have either another 2 or 3 hamburger patties or just like a pound of ground beef, loose, cooked up with some cheese and some salt. And at that time, I would occasionally put a little bit of salsa on it. I've since cut out all the vegetables, but when I first started, I did have a little bit of salsa on my beef. And that's really was a normal day. It took, after just a couple, 3 days of that, I woke up in the morning and it's like, I'm not hungry, but I love bacon and eggs. So I started having the bacon and eggs for lunch. And then I would have 3 or 4 hamburgers for dinner. Sometimes I'd put cheese on them, sometimes I wouldn't. Some of the other stuff that I would do for dinners is Hillshire Farms andouille sausage. I think that's how you pronounce it. It has 1 less carb per serving than their other types. So I would buy a ring of those and I'd cook up the whole thing. And I think there's like 6 servings in one of those things. So it was like 6 or 7 carbs. And I would chop it up into little chunks, throw those in the skillet. Once they started to brown up, I would buy in the big 2-pound bags of frozen shrimp from Walmart. You know, the large shrimp, or sometimes the jumbo shrimp. But they come in 2-pound bags, so I'd take the frozen and dump. They come deveined and detailed and fully cooked. You don't actually have to cook them, you just have to thaw them and eat them. But I threw them frozen in on top of the sausage, and then I would put some a little bit of butter, some salt, and some garlic. I was still using garlic at the time. Put a lid on it, let it simmer for a while, stir it all up, get everything starting to crisp up a little bit, and that made an amazing dinner as well. What else did I used to eat? That's pretty much it. You know, I would occasionally have, I still had, when I started this, I still had some chicken breasts in the freezer. So I would cook the chicken breasts, basically just fry them up in the skillet with some butter, and then take a little butter and put it on top of it to up the fat content, because I knew chicken breast did not have enough fat content to it. And that's basically what I ate for the first 2 weeks. And very gradually over the next week or so, my noon meal got smaller and my evening meal got bigger, because I just wasn't super hungry even for my noon meal. But I kept trying to increase the size of my evening meal because I knew that I wasn't quite eating enough. And I can't stress enough, I know I've said this several times in the last few videos, but I cannot stress enough that, now not everybody, but most of the people that have trouble losing weight on the carnivore diet, after that initial rush, you know, the initial flush of all of the inappropriate inflammation that goes rushing out of your body when you stop eating all the inflammative foods. The biggest problem people run into is they're not eating enough. Remember, I talked about the other day that Ansel Keys study. He called 1,600 calories a day a severe calorie restricted diet. But yeah, I wanted to answer this question in person. And one other quick observation. I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to go over it again because I'm still getting those comments. And I like those comments. I enjoy those comments. I thank you for the comments of how thin I look. But I'm not actually thin. I mean, from where I was, I am, and I know I look thin. But the big thing that I went over, back when I went in the Army, I gotta have another drink of water here. Back when I went in the Army in 1981, I was slightly heavier than I am now. And my nickname was Heavy. In basic training, in advanced training, and even when I joined my unit, my nickname was Heavy throughout my entire service. I was the biggest guy in the room, weight-wise. And that just goes to show how much we as Americans have gotten used to seeing a general population that is so grossly, vastly overweight. It just shows how much our perceptions have changed over the last 40 years. And I wasn't going to say anything, but my goodness, how indoctrinated are some of these kids. I get kids. You guys don't usually get to see them because most of what they say gets trapped by my word filter. But I had a guy the other day that said to me, I'm glad this is just your opinion, because the only place that anything you say is correct is in Fantasyland. I'm like, yeah, okay. So you're going to completely ignore the evidence in front of your face and stick to whatever kind of doctrine it is that you've been brainwashed with. I actually feel really bad for these kids because, they've been getting it from all sides. Their teachers in school, many of them, their parents at home. They're getting bad nutritional advice and even indoctrination into certain ways of eating that are absolutely not healthy. And it makes me a little bit sad for these kids because they just don't have a chance. Hopefully, they will wake up and listen to people. I had one commenter the other day, and I said, I thought he was just making a joke because he said, boy, some people do anything to get out of eating a salad. And I said, well, I used to eat salads, even on this way of eating, until I watched Dr. Chafee, that plants are trying to kill you. And he came back, well, obviously you and Chafee are both idiots. Now, you want to call me an idiot, that's okay, because I'm just an old retired truck driver. I don't really know a whole lot, but Dr. Chafee is a neurosurgeon. Neurosurgeon. You really think he doesn't know what he's talking about? I think some of these kids need to reevaluate their thinking. But see, that's just it. The whole problem with kids today is they have not been taught how to think. They have been taught what to think. And that's one of the big problems with our nutrition science today, is because none of these kids are questioning anything. They're just running around parroting everything they've been told. But anyway, that's all I've got for you today, folks. It was really windy outside. It was cold. Hopefully it'll be a little bit warmer tomorrow, and I'll get back out there on the walking trail. I'm hoping if it's nice enough, I may even try to get over to the park tomorrow. I haven't been over to the park in a long time, but I hate to go over there if it's so cold, and it's only supposed to be a high of mid-50s this entire week, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, don't forget, get out there, be 1% better today, guys. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.